change this, don't I? Where is the window capture? Done. Right. I am live. Okie dokie. You're telling me I've got to sign into the bloody chat. Useless. Hey Jay, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. It's going to be quite a chill one, because it's fairly late here, but I wanted to do a bit of a later stream than I usually do. So I'm just going to be working on my animation a little bit. Not really going to be doing animation per se. Like I need to order or arrange the camera a little bit in one of the scenes, and then I'm just going to be working on the background here. You are the first one here, yes. I don't know if people are going to show up to this one because I'm streaming generally later than I would normally. But like I said, it's just going to be like a little chill stream. I'm going to try and get the camera working on that scene, and then I'm going to be working on the background here. So like I said, not animation per se, but just like a chill little stream. So, my first thing is to expect for the next stream of an animation idea I want. What do you mean, an animation idea that you want? Right, so I need to try and order this. So we zoomed into here that I need the top down layer. Like for the requests. Okay, well, I'm happy to do an art piece for you. I won't be doing an animation piece. I'm happy to draw one of your characters, but I'm not actually going to be animating them. Okay, so I need to move the camera. Actually, that needs to go. Where? Okay. So it's not actually in this scene, so I might need to put it in the scene because this is on a different scene layer. So I might have to move this down onto the pyramid layer for it to be considered there. Okay, so if I let's grab all of that, because it's going to have to fit in the box. You go into, okay, there it goes. It's being funny because things are, so that's, I don't know if that was actually, I need to resize this so things are actually inside the box. Actually, I don't know if this is going to work. Which is really annoying. I didn't... Where were those lines? Maybe it was like that. Or maybe they were outside because I was just drawing him. Okay, let's have a look-see here. So we can actually see what's going on. That needs to be more in... Okay, I think it was about there. So what's your idea, Joe? Okay, I think that's about right. So now I need to order the camera, but then that needs to be, it needs to be on this layer, but it's, I don't understand that. It's on the same layer, but it's not appearing in the same, in the top down layer, which is weird. I guess because it's a completely different frame and asset that's not actually part of, maybe I won't be able to do what I wanted to do then. That's annoying. Unless I copy it and merge that. But if I merged it, I wouldn't be able to use it because Gompers is on a different layer. So that moves the... Oh god, that's really zoomed in. So if I move the camera beyond that, it's not going to go... Yeah, undo that. So how do I get that onto this... Oh no, it's not the pyramid layer, is it? It's the color layer maybe that it needs to be on? Well, there's the pyramid. Okay, so... But... The pyramid and this layer are in the same space now. So I need to zoom... Well, the pyramid does... No. Hey there, IDK. How's it going? Maybe I am going to have to do a hard cut. Because I need to... So my idea is to have like the pyramid zoom right into the pyramid and then go into it before it cuts to the next scene. But I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that. Because the pyramid stops there. Unless I increase the pyramids... let me try and increase this a bit. But then I'd have to increase the color as well. So this layer has to be increased and then it should incorporate. So let's extend that to 190. And then extend the color one night to 190. How you doing, IDK? Hope you're well. Okay, so at this point, there it goes. So now that... I mean, it appears over it, which is really annoying. So we're there and then it zooms out. Okay. So we've zoomed right into the pyramid. Let me hide Bill's room's left. Actually, that... I think it should be underneath, technically. So it's not showing. But I also need to keep this where it is. So in that regard... Oh no, because actually we're going to keep zooming in here. So we're going to go from here. And we're going to zoom in more on the pyramid. Oh, wait, hold up. Go back. So that's where it ends with the zoom in. Like that. So it actually needs to move up. Or the camera needs to move up. So where does... So the voice ends there.
I'd like to say.
That ends there. So so if we delete these, because this keyframe here, that's where it ends for now. Hey Tori, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. I'm just trying to plan out some camera movement here. So it ends there, but then it needs to continue on into the pyramid before it gets to Bill's room. So if we zoom in... No. Need to move the... Not the pyramid. Ah! Need to move the camera up. Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. So we're zooming into it there. Yeah, doing okay. So tonight's is just going to be. I know I'm streaming later than I normally would. I just wanted to try like a late night stream, and just trying to work out how I want to do this. So we're gonna zoom. Oh, I am gonna have to keyframe this, aren't I? Boo. Like basically, we're gonna zoom right into the pyramid and like cut to the next scene. Essentially, is what I'm trying to do. So the camera movement is this currently. So Gompers comes in, he bites the thing, and then we go up beyond him and zoom in on the pyramid. So if I go to here and add another keyframe, we are going to zoom in more. Just trying to keep like most of it in view. And just kind of go into it, and beyond here is where Bill's room is going to be. So I think maybe I should do like a black. So we get to. So if I keyframe it here, get rid of that. The color ends there, so there's no more color. Or like the background, the original background, that's gone. So that's all of that. And then we should be in Bill's room. So I need to position this because right now it's way behind the pyramid. So we need to go beyond. Whoop, what is that? We need to go beyond the pyramid and into Bill's room is what I want to do. So we. Bill's room is not visible currently. So it's not visible there. So we're zooming. Where is the croissant horns? The croissant horns are back here. So the camera's gonna go, once he's chewing, the camera's gonna go past his croissant horns and into the pyramid. And before cutting to Bill's room. So we're gonna go up. And I think the color's still there at this point. So when it gets this close to the pyramid, Bill's room is still there, so we don't want it there, we don't want it there. I think this needs to, no, hang on. So we need Bill's room, but it needs to fit into the box, essentially, and it needs to be behind the pyramid, like layered behind it. And it's here. So it needs to go into the box, essentially. And then the camera... We need to go through the pyramid to Bill's room, so... At this point, the color... No, it should continue for one more until it switches to Bill's room, I guess? Let's leave it on for now. So the camera is gonna go... through here, and then it will be... Whoop, need to move it on a little bit. So if I do it to there, keyframe that, and then we move it. We need to zoom like right through it, and then Bill's room should be... there, to there, to there, to there. So maybe we need to be closer on that one. I'm bad at this. Also, I don't know why Bill's room is so freaking huge. So we're zooming into the camera, or into the pyramid. To move that one along, I might have to make it. Okay, that works. So we go in through the pyramid and then Bill's room, but Bill's room needs to be behind the pyramid and it needs to be smaller because it's not in the it's not visible currently. Like, too much of it is outside of the box. So Bill's room, currently it's visible there, which is, we don't want that, so it needs to be not visible until this one. So Bill's room is visible from there. I hope I've done this right. Boop. So then I'll need to put the colour in because the colour disappears, but we go through here. And then Bill's room should theoretically be there, but it's not because it's... Where's Bill's? That's the pyramid. So is this Bill's room? So if we move that... There it is. So we move Bill's room behind the pyramid. So we zoom in. Boosh. There's Bill's room. Okay. And now I need to make this fit in the box again. Right, let me save that, because that works. But this needs to fit in the box. Hopefully this is going to work and not mess me about, because I want to get on to just colouring Bill's room here. So I think that was about there. Oh, so that's that. Yeah, and this next frame is, we've gone through the pyramid, and then Bill's room is visible. Let's keep making this smaller. I think the edge of the table was there. Also, hello if you are just hopping in, welcome to the stream. If you like what you see, please consider slapping the like button and subscribing for more art and animated content. It would be grand. Why have the lines on there gone super thick? Where are you super thick lines? You should not be super thick lines. Why has it done that? That's weird. Is it because it's like really zoomed in? Why has it made the lines so thick? What on earth? That's weird. Why have you done that? You can't read the books if you do that. And we want to be able to read the books. Huh. Okay. So, I'm assuming that's Bill's room there, but now can't see it. God, I really hate this. The camera is so weird. So here's the plane where it should be. Oh, okay, now we've lost it completely. Although I think I've still got it. So here should still have it. Nope, that's Weirdmaggedon. That's not what I want. Bollocks. Bollocks, bollocks, bollocks. Okay, it's saying it's... Oh, there we go. Right. So we've got that. Now I need to make this fit in the box without the lines going super thick. I have no idea why it did that. So it's currently... That's what it looks like. Okay. I don't understand why the lines went really, really thick. Please don't do that again. I want to resize it, but I want to maintain its size. That will just move stuff. Rotate, scale. Okay, hopefully that will keep its scale and not change. Okay. Try and fit this in the box here. I think the scale thing is going to work. We just need to change things about a little bit so it all fits in where it's supposed to be and everything can be seen. Is that scale? What were you? Scale. Yep, that was that one. Okay. Trying to get everything in back where it was. This is a task. So I think it was more or less. Wait, was that the ground? The ground? No, because the desk isn't there. I think the corner of the desk was there. Okay. That looks to be about right. Because the corner of the desk was... Maybe I need to make it ever so slightly bigger. I'm pretty sure I did the corner of the desk, like coming from that original corner. But then I want the bookshelf to be seen. I guess we can do it like that. Okay. So now, hopefully, that's that. Everything's still legible. Hello there, if you're just hopping in, welcome. I'm just arguing with the camera in Toon Boom. So theoretically now we should like zoom straight through the pyramid into Bill's room. If I've done what I hope I've done. So let's have a look, see here.
Bill, I have something to say.
Perfect. Although it speeds up and slows down, I've noticed, the movement on the camera.
Bill, I have something to say.
Okay, that looks a little bit odd.
Bill, I have something to say.
Huh. Like the camera going around Gompers there looks very strange. Maybe it'll look better once it's rendered. Because obviously the line in the stuff inside the lined box is what we're going to see. So... Why the camera changes speeds though, it's kind of odd.
Bill, I have something to say.
I don't know why it suddenly speeds up at the end there. So maybe if I delete that one, delete that one.
Bill, I have something to say.
Okay, that's better. And then we zoom through into Bill's room. That works fine. And up until the point where it's like really closed in. So up until we go to Bill's room. Well, up until that point, because all you can see at that point is the pyramid. So up until... so the background for the original shot needs to extend to 164. That's that. And then it goes into Bill's room. Okay. So let's have a look at that from the beginning.
Bill, I have something to say.
Okay, that doesn't look too bad. It's still, the camera's still moving funny though. So if I delete that final thing, it's just going to keep getting closer and closer and go straight through the pyramid. So then I need to extend the color to 167. Animation is fun! Cool, okay. So that should now work as I'm intending it to work.
Bill, I have something to say.
It still speeds up a little at the end there, which is odd. Don't know why it's doing that. It's very weird that it speeds up, but guess we're gonna have to live with that. Also, hello if you're just hopping into the stream. Welcome, welcome. So I've done the camera movement that I wanted to do there. I'm gonna have to plan where I'm gonna have Stanford start speaking.
Bill, I have something to say.
Why do you speed up? Why? Oops. Literally going into the pyramid, to Bill's room. Okay. So this is going to be the next shot. Don't understand why it's speeding up though. Anyway, right, so the next part of the stream is going to be me coloring Bill's room. Yay, exciting! So this is basically the scene where the rest of the animation is going to be happening. Oh, the pyramid needs to be gone after that point, just so we can avoid any unnecessary rendering that the program doesn't have to do. I don't know why you suddenly... It's very strange. Anyway, right, I need a new layer for the background color. Bill's room color, right. And close that. That's going to have to be below Bill's room, excuse me. There we go. And once it's colored, I'll merge the two so it's just colored. Because the rest of the animation is literally going to take place here. We're not moving anywhere else. So this is the last background that I'm going to have to do. And all the animation is going to take place inside of here. So I need to get a picture of the pyramid because I'm going to be using the color scheme from the penthouse almost. So let's grab that. The pyramid inside. So let's grab this. I need a picture of the inside of the pyramid. There we go. Let's grab that. Go to Toon Boom. Add a drawing. Figure 2. And close. And then, because I'm going to need to get colors, we're going to paste you in there. But you're going to need to be above Bill's room so I can actually get the color. We want tool. Do we want the library or the tool? We want tool. Right, okay, that's cool. I cannot see it. Amazing! What if I move it to the end of here? Can I see it then? Nope, apparently not. Why can I not see it? I just want the color. Although I might have to improvise here since it's not allowing me to do that. So let's get rid of that. Okay, well, it's like a very darkish grey or black. Might go with dark grey because the image I've got is actually like the penthouse, and I think it's like lit by the firelight, which obviously isn't in this particular shot. Let's start with his bookcase anyway, just because I'm very proud of the bookcase. I think I did a good job on it. So we are gonna want a palette. palette. Bill's room. Yay. Okay, I'm gonna start with the bookcase here. Yep, I want the Bill's room palette, thanks. Why are you? I'm gonna save this because it's being weird. Why are you being odd and not showing me the palettes? Trees, Gompers. Why are you not showing me the colours? Unless I've got a... But that's... Dolls, trees, Gompers, Bill's room. Why are you being the dumb? The palette has been modified. Change it, but off the palette. I haven't done anything to the palette. How can it be modified? Also, why are you not showing me the actual palettes for things? What are you doing? Unless it's because I don't have a color card on this, that might be why. So maybe if I had a color card just for now until it's actually colored, essentially. Where did that add that? Huh. No, we don't want it linked. Why are you linking it? I just want a color card. Thank you. Properties. Why is this being so weird? What is going on here? Is it because the color card isn't behind? Ooh, God, there's the color card. So the color card is... Okay. That makes sense. So I'm gonna have to move the color card. So it's... Why are you being so stupid? Why you gotta be like this? So essentially now I'm gonna have to move this back. But then that doesn't make any sense. No, don't move it. It's fine where it is. I don't understand why... This is very odd. The color card's there, but it's situated like way behind. And for some reason I can't... Like the palettes don't work for some reason. I don't want any of that. I just... If I go back up to here... Oh Jesus, now we've got like a color card. The color card is there. So... Where did it add that? That's really weird. But if I'm up here, let me go on to Gompers' layer. Like Gompers' color layer. Also, I really need to merge those two together. Just to save on rendering. But the palette doesn't work there either. I don't understand why you're doing that. Show... Okay. Let me use it then. Okay, let me save this and come back in because Toon Boom is being very strange at the moment. It's very annoying. But I think I need to merge Gompers Cleanup and his color because they're one and the same now, and I need to save on rendering space a little bit here. Right, bear with me 2 secs. I'm just going to reopen this. I don't know why it's being so bloody dumb. I'm sorry, just hitting the microphone there. Well, not the microphone, the side of my headset. Bear with me 2 seconds. Right, there we go. So the first thing I'm going to do is merge Gompers and his colour lines. Just so they're all one and I don't have to... Okay.
Bill, I have something to say.
Okay, well that's fine. I don't know why it got a little bit funny. I think it might be having a little bit of a rendering
I
issue
have
there.
something to say.
Why do you speed up at the end there? Is it that? Is that what's causing it to speed up? Or, you know, change pace. Okay, so we go with that. Now, let's see if I can add a color palette. So here, and then into Bill's room here. Bill's room color. Oh, is it because there's not a... But that shouldn't matter that there's not a frame there. Because as soon as you, like, draw in it, it should add a frame. Which it just did, even though it didn't draw anything. Oh, we're doing this again, are we? Okay, fine. Why are you doing this? I don't understand why you being so dumb. And not letting me draw or do anything. Oh, Toon Boom, why have you got to suck so much? This shouldn't matter. I should be able to... I mean, it comes up with a fur color, but for some reason it's not. Okay. Why are you not letting me draw now? I don't understand why you're not letting me draw. Let's have a look, see if I can find a reason for this. Lines not showing. Okay. Layer selection or hidden, open to your settings. Fit this by pressing K to toggle visibility, ensuring you're on the correct drawing layer, or navigate to view show strokes. Okay, well I'm on the correct layer. But for some reason it's not showing anything and not allowing me to have a palette, which is awesome. You show... Oh, show strokes is there. So that's not what's wrong. Toon Boom. Color palette. Not working. Why is Toon Boom like this? Just right click, get to... Right click, get right to modify palette list. What? Palette from subject to link. I don't want to link stuff, I just want to be able to... I can't remember how I fixed this before, because I had this issue before where the lines weren't showing up. I don't want that's moving. Okay, this should now be on this layer, so theoretically the lines should be working. This is weird. I don't know why you're being so dumb. Okay, I mean, that's... Can you deselect everything now, please? Okay. I mean, it's got Gompers' fur color. That's weird. And I can't select it for some reason, even though it's a line. I can't erase it either. What the fuck is going on with this? I don't understand why you're being the dumb. Why are my lines not appearing? Shouldn't matter if there's a color card underneath it or not, right? Can I do it in the actual? No, if I do that, it selects everything. Okay, so I can do it on that. I just can't do it on a different layer? What the fuck? Maybe it's because the different layer technically appears further back than where Bill's room is in the top view. Because that line there, I am assuming, represents Bill's room. Like the layer on which Bill's room is. Yep, that's Bill's room. Okay. So this needs to be just behind it or on top of it. So okay, well that's working. But now I need to be able to color it. So you're going to let me actually create a palette now? There we go. So that's Gompers. Nope, we don't want to create that. We need to go back to palettes. Oh, is that why? Okay, right. So we need a new palette. Bill color. Hello, hello, and welcome to the stream. Okay, so now if we do that, it should only have. So if we go onto Gompers and do that, we've got Gompers' palette. If we go on to Bill color and do that, we've got the default. Right, glad we got that sorted out. So now I want a bookcasey type color. I think like a dark reddish brown for like almost like a blood, like a dark oakish color might work nicely. I'm going to do like the floors and the walls like dark blackish grey, I think. I think that's too light. Let's go with that one. This is bookcase. If you'd like, you can read the books. Or read the books in the game box. I don't know if I'm going to be able to thingy on these because... Oh, okay, so it's going to go over the lines. Why are you like this? You should be below. Ever since I messed with like the camera in Z view, it's just been like, everything is just annoying. Okay, so it needs to be slightly behind, I'd guess. But then that shouldn't matter because it's ordered behind in the layers, so it shouldn't actually go over the lines, but it does. Okay. Now I've got to work this out. Got the colour working, now I need to work out how to keep it separate from the line work so I don't delete anything. Boom. Colour. Going over line work. Even though layer is below. Toon boom usually happens because the colour is being applied on the same layer as the line art. The colour art layer is not properly reading the lines. How many specific layer for colouring that is automatically positioned behind the line art layer? Locate the art layers. On the right side of the camera or drawing view, you will see icons for art layers. Line art is a blue line, colour art is a green paint blob. Select colour art, the green blob, and use the paint tool here. Okay. Let's go back to tool properties. Well, it's a red blob, not a green blob, but that's autofill. Draw behind. New strokes will appear behind existing art. That's what we want, right? And this layer. Nope, that didn't work at all. Awesome. Okay, now it's selecting lines, which we don't want, but it's still going over the lines. Why are you doing this? Repaint brush, we don't want. Autofill automatically fills your shape with the selected colour. Yeah, except it goes over the lines still. That don't work. Okay. Show colour palette, show pencil textures. Well, that's nothing to do with what I'm looking for. Snap to alignment, no. Automatically create colour art. New strokes, create corresponding strokes in the colour art layers. Okay, well that's the drawing view. Toon Boom, I don't understand you. Why are you being the dumb like this? Oh, that what? What? Why? Okay, fine. You know what? We'll just get rid of that one then if it's gonna do. Okay, Toon Boom is weird. I will never understand this frickin' program. Okay, well then. I don't need the colour layer apparently because the paint lines just go behind the black lines anywhere on this. Alright, whatever. As long as it colours, I don't care. I just want to get this background done. I don't know why Toon Boom has to be so freaking weird. Okay, hopefully my messing about hasn't fudged anything up here. No, I don't think it has. Alright, cool. So whoever is in chat right now, how are you doing? Make sure you say hello in the chat box. It's always nice to meet new peoples. And it'd be nice to have a bit of company. Oops, that's... Gonna try and add like a dark woody grain effect to it as well. Although I do think there's like a textures box, I think. You can change like the textures for things. Paper texture. So we can give it like a woody grain effect. Maybe, I don't know. We've got paper texture. Tips, moving, transparency. That's just moving there. Although it's not letting me select any of them. Okay, apparently not then. We'll do it the old-fashioned way. Oh, I asked people to talk and they ran away. Awesome. I don't know why I bother. Alright. So apparently I can't add a texture to it. I can add a gradient, but I can't add a texture. That's annoying. Fine. Be like that. Also, I think the inside wood is going to be a little bit darker than the top. And the top and sides. That should bucket it. Yep. Cool. I had a lot of fun, like, writing the titles for the books. Or deciding on the titles for the books. And the bits and pieces in his bookcase. Need to go around that. Remember, folks, if it giggles, close it. Alright, I wonder if my voice is too... The speakers are quite loud, so I don't know if it's drowning out my voice. It's entirely possible, I suppose. Let's put it there. I mean, there's no one really here to talk, but... Okay, I should be able to bucket the side of that. So I guess I'd like darker, when I do the... Once I've done the shade and stuff, I might add like darker lines and holes in the wood. I think that's how you pronounce that word, like holes. So I guess the inside, I might do this, the other side the same color as these, and then the inside and the shelves a different color just for some contrast. Although I feel like the inside of it would be maybe a tad darker, and then the back would be the darkest point. Oh. I don't know. Would it be? It would definitely be darker at the back. I feel like let's add a new one and do. Where are we for this one? Do a slightly darker one for the inside side. Book side. Although I think that just put it on a gradient. That's weird. Did it gradient? I think it did. We don't want it. Although actually a gradient might work quite nicely. Let's see. To give... Let me see. Whoops. Way to colour inside the lines there, Taz. Also, hello, if you're just hopping into the chat for the first time, welcome to the stream. Good to have you here. I don't normally stream this late, it's just a bit of a test, see what happens with a later stream. Okay, I don't know that this is going to work very well. Though actually, that looks pretty cool. I quite like that. Maybe I'll do that for the other sides as well. See what that looks like. That one should be fine. I really like that. Like that nice gradient. Huh. Go figure. Alright, so with this one, give it a... Are you going to gradient or are you not going to gradient? There we go. So we'll go for dark. Gradient can be at the edge like it was before, but maybe go... Alright, let's try that. Let's see what that looks like. It's the only problem though, you can't just bucket it, so you have to go around the edges first. And unless you do it in one solid line, you get like patches, which is hard to do. Okay, what does that look like? Oh, that's pretty cool, I like that. Hi, and welcome to the stream. To anyone that is just hopping in, hope you're having a wonderful evening. Make sure you say hello in the chat. It's always a pleasure to meet new people. Then the inside will be darker. And I'll have to colour all the books individually. Lol. Okay, let's do that one. Okay. Then the bottom would be the same colour, but I want to do the shelves slightly lighter. So we'll do the inside here. Trying to avoid doing anything that's not supposed to be bookshelf colour. I'm going to have fun doing the prism, because I can do that in all sorts of gradients. Oops, no, that actually went inside the plush, which we don't want. Although theoretically I should just be able to do the edges. Although I don't know that there's no line breakages around. Ooh! No, you're only supposed to go around. There we go, you're not supposed to do what you just did. Okay. Oh, it's because the prism. See, that's the only problem with doing that, you get lines around things. And then you can't bucket them. Awesome. That's really weird. I don't know why it does that. I don't think there's any way you can not have it do that. No, you're not going to get rid of the lines? You're just going to leave them there. Okay. Be like that then, see if I care. Don't know what that's going to look like as a whole. Problem is, if you don't go around them, it's not going to be able to use the bucket tool because there could be line breaks. And we're just going to colour the whole book there, alright. I guess I'll have to erase that. But then it's got like something different to that, so it's like darker on one side. Ah, Toon Boom, why are you so weird? It's very strange that it does that. So my only other option is to just do the lines and then erase anything where it's not supposed to be. That's my other option. Rather than getting all the weird lines around stuff. Okay. So that works a bit better, then I can just erase the lines where they're not, or the colour where it's not supposed to be. It's better than getting weird lines around stuff, I suppose. Even if it takes a little bit more time to edit things. Clear up the little axolotl plushie. There we go. Theoretically, I should be able to just select and delete that. Yep, there we go. Oops, a little bit more there. Alright, well, that works. It's a little bit more involved than I would have liked it to be. I guess streaming late doesn't really work. Okay. And the axolotl book. Still, it was worth trying, I suppose. Wait, did I? Oh, that book hasn't got a title. Okay. To give that book a title. And Chaos Theory, and then that's the last book that needs to be erased. Hey there, Guy, welcome back. I've just started colouring the next scene. Or the next background, I guess you could say. Okay, that looks pretty good.
I have something to say.
Yes, yes you do, Ford. Okay. So I'm gonna do the back of... So we're gonna do that, and then I'm gonna change that to like a darker... This needs to be dark. There we go. I want it to be like almost black, or black for the back of it. Maybe make this one slightly darker too. Probably still can't do that, so we're gonna have to go in with the brush. How you doing today, Guy? Or this evening, I should say. May have to delete that. Need to think of a book title. And then I'll do the shelves lighter. Okay, that's just going to do the... Oh, actually, that kind of works, because then I can just go in and delete or erase. Yeah, okay. Wasn't planning it like that, but it actually works a little bit better. But it now means I have to erase all of the... Okay, cool. Go in and clean up all the books now. Although, actually, no, that doesn't work, so that means I'm going to have to do the shelves. Alright. That's the only problem with doing it like this. That you can't get, like, a darker shade there once it's been done. Cool that you're working on an AU, though. Nope, that's not going to work. Okay, it's just going to make it look weird. Okay. How irritating. Maybe I should just do the back black? Or like a very, very, very dark brown, rather than a gradient. Maybe a bit darker than that. Where is it? We'll go dark. Okay, that's good. So that way when you fill it you won't get the awkward lines. I think I'm going to end this stream. It was just a test to see if we get a different audience when it's later. I don't think we do. And it's getting pretty late here, so... May stream tomorrow though, working on this and then hopefully starting the animation once it's finished. Okay, yeah, that works. So we'll go with that colour for the inside of the book. The bookshelf. And definitely got to rethink where Stanford's voice is.
Bill, I have something to say.
Okay, well, let's save that. And then tomorrow I can continue working on colouring his room. Alright.